Thank you. Give it up for all the comics. So give it up for Marla for putting this all together. Yes. Great show going on. I want to start by putting the timer on so I don't go over time. Anyway. Now I want to tell you guys a few things about me because this show's going to get really fucking weird. Really weird. Like, as weird as everyone in here is, this is going to get really weird. So I am going to tell you some things about myself so you don't judge me later. So, first of all, I'm a big film fan. Anybody else? Louisa, that joke wasn't for you. I know you hate me already. As soon as I said I was a film fan, so fuck that. Now, one of my favorite movies is the Malcolm X movie that came out. Anyone see that? It came out in the 90s. Denzel? Anybody? Yeah. Great movie. It's one of my favorites. My favorite part of that movie is when he is when Denzel's character Malcolm X is in prison, and he's converting to Islam. And I'm not gonna lie, I was almost Muslim by the end of that scene. No, because like it sounded so good. Because so he's in the middle of converting to Islam, and the person who's helping him convert is telling him all the things he needs to give up in order to be a good Muslim. Saying that you have to give up the white man's cigarettes. And I was like, I don't smoke. It worked. You have to give up the white man's alcohol. I'm like, shit, I don't drink either. You have to give up the white man's drugs. I'm like, shit, I don't do drugs. I might be Muslim. He said, you have to give up the white man's women. And I turned the movie off. Yeah, I was like, pass, I'm good. Like, I couldn't do it. It's too easy. And it's not a preference or anything. I like women of all races, but it's just, that's a layup for me. Like, I am a 6'4", 280-pound black dude with dreadlocks. If I put a D1 athlete in my Tinder, I'm putting up book numbers. I'm bringing in more white girls than a Taylor Swift concert. Yeah, couldn't do it. Another thing about me is I have a nephew. He graduated high school a couple years ago, and I went to visit him. It was myself, my mom, and my girl, and so we stopped for breakfast because my nephew lives in Pittsburgh, and long drive, so we stopped for breakfast, and we stopped at Cracker Barrel on Juneteenth. So before I continue, a couple things. If you've never been to Cracker Barrel, it is like if a Civil War reenactment became a restaurant. And Juneteenth is their 9/11. Another thing is, you couldn't tell by the last joke and my voice, my girlfriend is white. And when I say white, I don't mean like snow bunny, like, you know, those white women who think they're black just because they got a fat ass and grow up poor. No, my girl is adult Disney fan white. So this was a very awkward breakfast, to say the least. Like a big black dude in there, white woman. I look like an escaped slave with a slave master's daughter. Yeah, they were not happy to see me. Thing is, I love Cracker Barrel. I love the food. I just can't get over how racist the vibes are in there, you know? Like, Cracker Barrel was so racist, they spelled pancakes with 3 Ks. Cracker Barrel is so racist, I don't even pay for food when I go there. I just work for it. Cracker Barrel is so racist, they only serve egg whites. I got a lot of these. I'm talking more. Cracker Barrel is so racist, policing for free. Cracker Barrel is so racist. If you tell them it's your birthday, they give you a cupcake, but it doesn't have a candle. It just has a miniature burning cross in it. Cracker Barrel is so racist. When my girl and I go, when they tell me that my table is ready, they say Shelton party 1 3/5. A little too much on that. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna sound weird coming from me. I'm actually a fan of old school racism. Yeah, I know, it sounds weird, but hear me out. I like old school racism because it's honest. What, no one else? No, man. I prefer the old school stuff. Like, I don't like the new school, the white liberal racism. You miss me with that shit. Like that Ohio City racism. They got the Black Lives Matter signs outside their house, the 40 miles away from the closest black person. Yeah, the white liberal racism makes me laugh too. It's like, you know how they say black women and Latinas, when they get mad, they got their own head neck movement, like the bob and weave shit. They get mad at you, but they fight Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, white women have their own neck movement too. You've never seen it. You have never been a person of color and new to the neighborhood. Yeah, try that. Like you walk into the apartment building, and then if they don't know you, it's, oh, I'm sorry, do you live here? Oh, I've never seen you here before. Oh, really? Because I'm the building manager. He's never mentioned me before. Well, why don't we just go talk to him right now? Like I said, man, I prefer the old school stuff. White liberal racism weirds me out. Like, did anyone ever watch wrestling in the 90s? Yeah, some Attitude Era fans? White liberal racism reminds me of when Vince McMahon revealed himself as the higher power. You know, let me explain. So they pretend to be on your side. They pretend to be the victim, just like you. And then when shit hits the fan, that white hood comes off. It was me, niggers. It was me all along. Anyone a fan of corporations? Yeah! I'm actually gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on that. I took a shot at police earlier. Change of pace. But as I've gotten older, I've gained a little bit more perspective, and I realized that we need police, right? We do. I mean, if it wasn't for police, we wouldn't have true crime. If it wasn't for their laziness and stupidity and at times outright callousness, and how else are you going to blow an entire Saturday watching a documentary about a murder they could have solved 30 years ago? That's literally what the show Murder, She Wrote is about. Like, cops are so fucking bad at their jobs that a 65-year-old woman has to do it for them. Rest in peace to Angela Lansdale. I remember, I'm fucking tired of cops. I remember there was this politician in the South, so I think it was Alabama, and he said that if you believe that we need to defund the police, the next time you need the police, don't call the police, call a crackhead. I was like, okay, sure. Yeah, I'd much rather take my chances with a crackhead than a cop. Again, black, remember? Let's say someone steals $50 from me, right? And I call it crackhead. I'm getting my fucking money back. If I slide him $10, I get my dick sucked too. Win-win. What happens if I call the police, right? They show up 30 minutes after it happened. They look around for 5 minutes and they say, sorry, sir, there's nothing we can do. By the way, you know there was a robbery here? You kind of fit the description. You mind coming down for some questioning? Actually, I do hate corporations. And one of the things I hate about corporations the most is like how they're trying to be socially conscious. And this is not some right-wing, go woke, go broke sort of thing. I don't give a shit about that. I hate it during like Pride Month and Black History Month. Like, remember when I said that white liberal racism? This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. It's like, it seems like every Pride Month, or whenever there's a social movement, or every Black History Month, here come corporations trying to weasel on in there, squeeze a little bit more money out of us. Yeah, it makes me fucking sick. I remember during the George Floyd riots and the George Floyd protests, and there was one corporation. I'm not going to say the name. Just all I'm going to say is they serve chicken, and they're in Kentucky, and the mascot looks like a slave owner. Make of that what you will. And they tweeted out this graphic in support of the George Floyd protesters. And if I remember correctly, the foreground of the graphic was a chicken leg. And the background was a shadow of a black power fist. If that does not just encapsulate everything that's shitty about corporate activism, I don't know what the fuck does. And I hate it during Pride Month too. I'm an ally, man. I love Pride Month. Except for when corporations get on it. Then I want to jump off a rainbow bridge to my death. It seems like every year there's some shitty corporation like Target, trying to sell you a rainbow shirt that was made by some Cambodian child with a hook for a hand. It seems like every year some corporation has some shitty slogan, this year for Pride Month, our pronouns are buy one and get one. For this month, you won't top these prices. It's going to get worse. Soon, you're going to start seeing shit like, March on Washington, and the brand new Nikes. Watch the world burn on an 80-inch plasma screen TV. Eat the rich. Nothing goes better with the rich than a nice cold Pepsi. Throw a Molotov cocktail. Nothing burns better than Jack Daniels. You see police brutality, you need to record it. On the brand new iPhone. Watch somebody get his ass beat in 4K. Like I said, I am an ally. At least I like to think so. I try when I can. I think it's the whole trans people in sports thing. It's a weird debate, isn't it? I know what you're thinking. Black dude, a black comic named Dave about to talk about trans people. What could go wrong? Wrong one. No, I'm actually. I think it's. I don't think it's that big a deal. At least it shouldn't be. I mean, world's not fucking Joanna Man, Is that reference a bit too dated? No one else watched that movie? I've never seen it as that big a deal. Because the argument, right, is that it's an unfair advantage. So let's say it's an unfair advantage. have you seen black people and white people play sports? Like, that's an unfair advantage. That's a real unfair advantage. Like, go back and watch basketball in the 60s and 70s. Wilt and Kareem used to look like the fucking Monstars. Like, you realize that they had to change the rules for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? They banned dunking when he was in college. And yet trans people are the problem? Give me a fucking break. Like, why do you think they invented the three-point line? They looked at how things were going and were like, look, we gotta find a place to score where they're not going. And just to fuck with them a little bit more, we're gonna make our points worth more than theirs. We gotta fix this shit eventually. We gotta fix this shit somehow. It's like, why do you think they invented golf? They had to invent something to price us out. What about NASCAR? NASCAR is the sport that white people invented because they got tired of losing us in track. And yet you're worried about trans people in sports. Suck that woman's dick. But here's the thing though, I think I figured out how we can fix the country. Yeah, I know. Finally putting that political science degree to use somehow. Yeah. My mom clapped at that. I'm like, I'd give you like $1,000 a month to pay for my student loans. No, but I think I figured out how to fix the country. We can do one of two things. I don't know what's going to be more popular, but hear me out on both. So the first thing we can do, I think we need to bring back segregation. Like, and I get it, not in a black-white way. It wouldn't work, you know. White girls in D1 schools would riot. You know, like if I tried to do that, they would storm the Capitol like their parents did on January 6th. Me and that bitch Shannon, give me BBC or give me death. We'll pry this light-skinned baby named Jaden from my cold, dead hands. No. When I say segregation, I mean like the Union and Confederacy. I know we fought a war, but it's just not working out. We need to bring that shit back. Because like we can't agree on anything, right? Like we can't agree on basic shit. Like if you would say like the sky is blue, someone would say that's what they want you to think. So I say like we just cut our losses and just split the shit up. You know, we give conservatives the South, liberals take the North. We just go our separate way. You know? I mean, think about it. Like each side can have their own utopia. Like in the South, you know, I guess no more gays or trans people. You know, that's what they want, right? Just fucking give it to them. You know, everyone will have guns. Make Donald Trump president for life, for all I care. I don't care. I mean, like, and so, like, you make abortion completely illegal. Like, everyone will be pro-life. Like, they'll be so pro-life in the South that if you're not pro-life, they will kill you. Like, they can just have it. And then in the North is ours. You know? Like, everyone will be pro-life. Or, not pro-life, everyone will be pro-choice, pro-abortion. Like, there will be more abortion clinics than Starbucks. Gay people, trans people will have rights, will have free health care. For the first time in this country's history, black lives will matter. So they stick us all in Chicago and Detroit and gentrify everything. Well, too dark. Get a little too real. No. There's another option though. You remember when I said the show was going to get weird. This is going to be one of those parts. Another thing we could do, hear me out, we bring back assassinations. So now it's going to get quiet? Fine, keep voting, see if it works. Go ahead. Minimum wages are going up in 15 fucking years. I'm sure if you vote enough, eventually they'll give you what you want. I think we should bring back assassinations. Because, like I said, voting isn't working, politicians don't seem to give a shit, we're kind of overdue. Who was the last one? What, Reagan? That's 40 years. It's over 40 years. Tell me, you haven't wanted to kill one of the motherfuckers since? Pussies. I don't know. And the thing here's the thing about assassinations, right? It can't be this new shit. Because the thing, people have tried, but it's the soft assassinations, like mailing pipe bombs and mailing ricin. Nah, man. It's America. Need guns. Start shooting at these motherfuckers, man. I need Capitol Hill to sound like a basketball court in a black neighborhood. Or a school in a white neighborhood. Now, keep it a buck. If you could kill one, who would it be? That's not rhetorical, I want an answer. My dude in the hat, who would it be?
Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell?
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a good one. What about you guys? I mean, you got one.
Trump.
That's hey. Won't hear any complaints from me. What are you guys in the back?
Kevin McCarthy's pretty annoying.
Yeah, I feel that. It's a good one. My dude next to him. Anyone?
I'm gonna go with Mitch, too.
Mitch? It's fair. I gotta be honest too. The only reason I ask is because I don't want to be the only one black bagged on the way out here. Thrown into an unmarked SUV. Here's the thing, I do think it would work. I mean, it's worked every other time. They killed Lincoln, and black folks have been feeling that shit ever since. They shot Reagan. He was so scared he invented crack. I ain't say everything was good. It's weird about our politicians, because it's I shouldn't even get shit for saying this, especially when we got a foot in the grave anyway. You could kill most of our politicians if you just show up a jump scare from a scary movie. Take Nancy Pelosi, for example. Does anyone know how old Nancy Pelosi is?
Old as fuck.
Yeah. I'm talking specifics, though.
Old 90s?
Yeah, she is. She is, if I remember correctly, 84 years old. Yeah. So, to give you an example of how old that is, Nancy Pelosi was 21 years old. She was at John F. Kennedy's inauguration. John F. Kennedy, as an adult. And if you knew JFK back when he had a head, time to retire. One thing about me is I love jokes on language. I have a lot of stuff about it. Language is very interesting to me. It's very interesting to think about. It's interesting to talk about. One of the jokes that I have on language is very fun. How do retarded people cook their food? They use a slow cooker. See, now, that joke sounds like a cheap shot, but here's the thing about the word retarded. It just means slow. That's it. I I know a lot of us of a certain age, we've probably used that as a pejorative like 15 years ago or something. You know, so like, oh, that's retarded, you're retarded. No, like the word retarded just means slow. It's not a big deal. Like, for example, if you were going to jump out of an airplane, you would wear a parachute, right? Why? To retard your fall. That's it. Or take these curtains right here. What kind of curtains are they? They are flame retardant curtains. See? Nothing offensive about that. They're not flammably challenged curtains. That'd be retarded. So there's another interesting thing about language. The term white beater. Why? That's a genuine question. Why would you name an article of clothing after something terrible like that? You ever notice that we don't do that with anything else? You know, like no one is gonna call like tidy whities child molesters. No one's gonna call a trench coat a school shooter. It's a little chilly outside. I gotta put my school shooter on. Sounds fucking stupid. By the way, I can make that joke because I have the self-esteem of a school shooter, so it's okay. You know, something else. The word allegedly is hilarious to me. Like, you just say whatever fucked up shit you want, and then you say allegedly afterward, and then that just completely negates it. It's great. Like, yeah, of course I steal from Walmart, allegedly. And then you're good. You're good. It's great. I love when they say it on the news. Like when someone committed a crime that they obviously did, they still say allegedly. Like, the alleged killer was found with 12 severed heads in his basement. I'm like, really? Alleged? It's safe to say he did it. Like, you can just say it. Something else that's interesting is about language is slurs. I know it's weird, but you ever notice? Apparently, they've invented a new N-word. Several, in fact. Like Karen is apparently the new N-word. What else? Incel is the new N-word. Cisgender is the new N-word. And every time someone says it's the new N-word, I'm like, the old one did not go anywhere. I just got called it last week. Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, people don't realize that slurs eat history and also hate. Like, a clinical term isn't hateful. I'll give you a slur that's hateful and really new. Does anyone know what a coal miner is? Never heard that one? I saw this shit online. Apparently a coal miner is a white woman who dates black men. Right? Like, that would hurt. You know how racist you gotta be to make nigger lover sound tame? God damn. I have a few more minutes here. Did anyone hear about the song WAP that came out a couple years ago? That's my shit. Love that song. I ain't no weirdo either. People got mad at that song. First of all, so full disclosure, I'm an idiot. I got the song wrong. I thought they were just making fun of Italians. Nah, man, it's just about wet ass pussy. I'm like, who doesn't love that? Apparently a lot of guys. I'm like, what are you, gay? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why don't you want women to talk about how good they are at sex? I want a woman who's good at sex. I want a fucking church girl or nothing like that. It's insane to get mad. Slut shaming is insane to me. Like, a lot of guys say, they want a woman who's good in bed, but she also can never have had sex. And I'm like, you cannot have your pussy and eat it too. It doesn't work that way. Think of it this way. If you were going to start a basketball team, you would want someone who's played the game before, right? Like, you don't want someone who's never played just because they've never had any injuries. What I'm saying is, fellas treat your dick like a basketball. You put it in someone's hands, you want them to know what to do with it. Just me? Alright, fine. Like, have you ever had sex with a virgin before? It's terrible. Like, both, like, if you're a guy, having sex with a virgin is, virgin pussy plays better defense than the bad boy Pistons. Like, that shit is terrible. Like, I'm trying to give you like Nancy Reagan type. That one wasn't Gianna Michaels of the 40s. You do not get that joke? I don't know what to tell you. See, this is why I can't fuck with Muslim extremism. I don't, hear me out. I'm gonna explain. The reason I don't fuck with Muslim extremism is I can't deal with the whole 72 virgins thing. I'm fine with murder. It's the whole 72 virgins. Like, because they say if you strap the bomb to your chest, boom, and then you die, you get 72 virgins in heaven, and I'm like, that is not heaven to me. That is my own personal hell. I don't need 72 different voices telling me, "Ow, that hurts" for the rest of eternity. It is almost time for me to go. I have one more bit for you. Is it okay if I get really, really weird? Okay. It is your funeral, and you are going to understand why that turn phrase is so funny in a few minutes. So, fold it. I'm just gonna say it. I think necrophilia should be legal, man. It makes the whole funeral thing a lot funnier. In hindsight. Nah, cause it's like I don't, and it's like I don't do it. Obviously, that's weird. It's just not a deal breaker if I'm looking for a roommate. Like, there's worse shit you can be into. You know, it's like let's be real here. It's a victimless hobby, and they're not gonna wake up. No. Like I was watching that Dahmer show that came out like a year or so ago. Anybody else watch that? Yeah. Shit was wild, wasn't it? He was a wild boy. It was like I didn't watch all of it because I mean from Ohio, so I get it. But I didn't realize he was so into black dudes. That one caught me off guard. He ate more chocolate than Willy Wonka. That's the thing, man. It's just, the whole necrophilia thing. I just don't care. Like, just like I said, we're not gonna wake up. So it's like, what it is, what it is. It's just like, I think of it as like really extreme taxidermy. A couple extra steps. You stuff the body so you can stuff the body. Oh, good. What, too dark? All right, fine. I'll move on. Is anyone in here an organ donor?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. How is this any different? Dead ass. Pun intended. No, how is it any different? Think about it. When someone dies, you can use their eyes, you can use their spleen, use their heart. But now if you use the dick of the pussy, it's too much, it's going too far. I don't think it's fair. I don't know, man. You know what's really crazy about necrophilia, other than the obvious? It's, it carries the same prison sentence as rape?
Really?
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Because to me, rape is like one of the worst crimes you can commit. And and I was doing research for the joke. I wanted to seem informed, and I'm just gonna be honest. I got curious, and I looked it up, and they have a very similar prison sentence. It's weird. And like I said, I looked it up. I was like, just typing random shit into Google, and I got curious. I was just like, I wonder what has what has a worse prison sentence, rape or necrophilia? And I realized I may have made a mistake. That's why I put allegedly in the search bar with it. I'm not going to jail. That's my time, you guys. Enjoy it.